Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have a video that I'm very happy to be making. The Bucks won. Woo! Woo! Game 5 coming up on Tuesday. Can't wait for it. What a win for my Bucks. Woo! I'm just so happy right now. Of course, Giannis's injury definitely puts a damper on my joy, but still, what a game. What a game. Giannis was just so incredible in those 11 minutes, and it was so sad to see him go down. I mean, 19 points on 8 for 10 shooting in 11 minutes. You couldn't have asked for more from this guy in the time that he was on the court for. He was just incredible. He was manhandling the Heat defense and just doing whatever he wanted. And then to see him go down with that ankle injury and not return was just so disappointing. But I hope he's back for Game 5, and if he is, why not us, right? That's the mentality you have to have if you're the Bucks. Somebody's going to do it someday. Why not the Milwaukee Bucks right now? Middleton just had a beautiful game. Obviously, he kind of disappeared in the fourth quarter, but in overtime, he more than made up for it. He had the ball in his hands every single possession, catching the ball in the middle of the court, getting into his beautiful isolation game. He's just so smooth, getting those difficult fadeaways and knocking them down. In the mid-range game, you've got like Kawhi and Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton. Like, he is in the elite echelon of mid-range jumper shooters. Like, it's not a good shot, but when you shoot it as well and as pretty as Chris Middleton does, can't complain. He also made a few great passes. The ones that stand out in my mind were 2 possessions in a row. He had the ball kind of at the free throw line, and George Hill made a back cut. He found him, and Hill dunked it. The very next possession, George Hill did it again. Middleton found him on the back cut. Hill caught it. I think it was Bam was helping off of Lopez to prevent Hill from getting another easy bucket. Hill kicks it out to Lopez for a corner 3. Bang! Or as the Bucks radio announcer likes to say, bingo, bango, bongo. I mean, like, wow. This is just incredible. Incredible win for the Bucks. I'm so happy. Otherwise, my Labor Day weekend would have been completely ruined. So happy that the Bucks were able to pull that one out. Middleton was just incredible. 36, 8, and 8. 12 for 28 from the field, 3 for 7 from the 3, 9 for 9 from the line in 48 minutes. I'm so happy that Coach Bud decided that, you know what, I should have made this adjustment sooner, but better late than never. I have to prove that I'm not stubborn and I'm not... I mean, what's that one Albert Einstein quote? It's like, the definition of insane is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's something like that. That might not exactly be it, but that's kind of what Mike Budenholzer has been doing, both in this series and in last year's Raptors series. And I'm so happy that he changed it up, played Middleton for big minutes, trusted his guy to be able to do what he needed to do to keep his team in the game and eventually carry them to the win. That game-winning shot Middleton hit was just incredible. I was so happy when he hit that difficult shot to win the game, ice the game. That was the dagger. Just an outstanding game from Chris. Another thing with Coach Bud is he made some other key adjustments in this game. With Giannis, he was trying to get the ball to Giannis more in the high post before he got injured. And really the key for Bud was, ever since we came to the bubble, this team just hasn't looked the same. They haven't had the same fire and the same fight. And in this game, I saw that fight. I saw that want to win. And this team just wanted it so badly. And I'm just so happy that they were able to find it when they really, really needed it and stave off elimination and just stay alive. Stay alive. Live to see another day. And that's exactly what the Bucks did. And I hope that they can keep it going and have Giannis come back and show what they can really do. Show Giannis that this is a winning organization and he should be happy to be here. On the other end of things, Tyler Hero has to be the gutsiest rookie I've ever seen play basketball. I mean, these shots that he's taking are difficult shots down the stretch, all pressure on him, and he's just rising up, contested, off balance, off the dribble threes, and just knocking them down. This guy showed me so much. He's got so much poise. I've talked about it before. I'll say it again. He's unwavered by the importance of this series. He hasn't let it get to him, and he's continued to play like a really, really good player. Obviously, he didn't have his best game yesterday. Only 11 points on 4 for 11 shooting, but all 11 of those points were huge shots that just kept the Heat in the game. He did have a big turnover at the end of the fourth quarter, with maybe a minute and a half left. That really hurt the Heat, but this game just proved to me, like, this guy can hit big shots when you need him to, and he's going to be a really, really good player for this Miami Heat organization for a long time. Jay Crowder continued to hit threes yesterday. I was a little surprised to see Spoelstra go away from Crowder in the overtime. I'm pretty sure Crowder was not on the court at all in that overtime. And with his ability to space the floor, he knocked down 6 threes yesterday. And for the series, he's got to be shooting right around 50% from the three-point line. And also his defensive ability. He did a pretty good job on Middleton when he was on him. He should have been on the floor. I'm really surprised that he wasn't. Eric Bledsoe has been getting ripped a lot, and a lot of my buddies were ripping on him even after this game, saying that the Bucks need a better point guard. But I actually think that Bledsoe had a pretty good game. On 2-point shots, he was 6 for 7. And he finished with a double-double of 14 points and 10 rebounds. So when he was making smart decisions and getting to the rim, it was working out really well for the Bucks. They got a lot of points off of his drives. He also had 6 assists, so he was creating offense for the other players on the court. But where Eric Bledsoe has his struggles is when he gets, I don't know what the word for it is, maybe like passive, and he starts settling for these early shot clock off the dribble threes that just make you scratch your head and say, what was he thinking? That's my problem with Bledsoe. He just needs to work on his shot selection, and if he can do that, there's no reason why he can't be the franchise point guard for this team. His defense on Dragic was also a game changer yesterday. Dragic has been killing the Bucks this whole series, and him stepping into this role as such a great player is really what's made the Heat such a dangerous team. Before him, Jimmy Butler was really the only all-star level perimeter player for this team, with Bam being an all-star level big man, obviously. But for them to have a second perimeter option that's been as great as the Dragon has been for this Heat team has just been huge for them. And yesterday, Bledsoe really shut him down. He still had 17 points, but that came on 17 shots. He only shot 5 for 17 and 1 for 9 from the three-point line. So great job by Bledsoe on defense. When he's getting to the rim, he's a very effective player. He just needs to stop falling in love with that three-point shot. He was 0 for 6 from 3 yesterday. Just don't shoot him. It's not that hard. Take a page out of Westbrook's book and just cut down your three-point attempts. Work on getting to the rim more. Work on finding your teammates more. And everything's going to be good. Lopez had another pretty good game. Had a few really big blocks for the Bucks in the fourth quarter. And also hit a big 3 down the stretch. He's done a good job as like a consistent third option for the Bucks in this playoffs. And he's really the one guy that's consistently played great for the Bucks. And if he can continue this string, I mean, he makes this team more dangerous because similar to Dragic, if the team can have their third best player playing as well as he been in this playoffs, it's really scary. They just need some more of that depth to step up. And that's what we got from George Hill and Dante DiVincenzo yesterday. DiVincenzo was a plus 22 yesterday. When he was on the court, the Bucks just looked like a better team. He finished with 10 points, and it felt like they were all points that were generated by him. Him getting big steals and getting to the basket, finishing in transition, or getting to the rim off of the half-court offense. When he's playing like this, he's just such a key player for the Bucks off the bench. He can play that Pat Connaughton role that Connaughton played last year, but he can play it so much better because he's a more dangerous offensive player and also probably a better defender. So DiVincenzo stepping up was great to see. He's my guy. He's my favorite player on the Bucks, and it's between him and Donovan Mitchell for my favorite young player in the entire NBA. I'm a big fan of his, and I think that he's going to be a great player. So it was great to see him playing this well. I don't know how I made it this long without talking about this guy, but Bam Adebayo was crazy good yesterday. 26, 12, and 8. What kind of stat? That's a Jokic stat line. 10 for 13 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He was knocking down all of those mid-range jumpers that the Bucks were pretty much giving him because better to make him hurt you there than hurt you on dunks. So they were giving him those middies, and he was knocking them down for the most part. And that just makes his offensive game that much more scary if he's able to hit those shots. And it makes this Heat team that much better. I think that if the Heat are able to move past the Bucks, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, they probably will. Maybe even more than probably. Like, it's very, very likely that the Heat are going to win this series still. Like, probably a 95% chance the Heat win this series. But when Dragic and Bam as the second and third options behind Jimmy Butler are playing this well, look out. This team could win the championship this year. I'd love to see them. Like, my dream matchup is the Heat-Rockets, but I don't think the Rockets can beat the Clippers, and the Celtics and Raptors are also really good. So just lots more great basketball, and hopefully the Bucks are involved in it as long as possible because I love this team. I want to see them fight like this more often. I want to see them fight like this for their season, and I can't wait until Tuesday to see if they can come out with the same effort. Hopefully Giannis is back, and he can help us to make this a really interesting series. The second game of the day was Rockets-Lakers, and obviously I'm going to have a bit less enthusiasm on this game because I'm a Bucks fan, so that game just gets me more excited than any other. But the Rockets are the most interesting team in the playoffs to me. Sorry about that. The reliance they have on their three-point shooting is just so crazy. And they shot the ball really well yesterday. 22 for 53. That's 41.5% from the line. That's incredible. And if they shoot the ball like that, they're so dangerous. And you saw it that despite all the turnovers they had, they were still able to keep it a close game because of their three-point shooting. Now, getting back to those turnovers, it could be looked at like this is a game that they should have won, but they turned the ball over so frequently that it was hurting them. Westbrook killed this team. I mean, he had so many boneheaded decisions. Like, obviously, he's probably a top 5 transition player in the NBA. Like, off the top of my head, is he the number 2? Is he after Giannis? Is he the best transition player in that whole NBA? Maybe he is. I mean, with a head of steam, this guy is really, really, really good. But it just felt like he was forcing things and trying to push the ball into 1-on-4s in transition, and that's not where he's going to be effective. That's not good offense. They can get much better shots out of their half-court offense than Russell Westbrook putting his head down and plowing into 4 defenders. So he needs to play better. He got outplayed by Rajon Rondo yesterday. Rondo had plus 28, 10 points, and 9 assists. I mean, that's what the Lakers need from him. They have to be elated with the game he had yesterday because he's a big reason why they won the game. I saw an article on The Athletic this morning. I didn't read it yet, but it was titled, "The Key in This Game for the Lakers, Rondo outplayed Westbrook or something along those lines. And he did. He flat out did. So Westbrook needs to play better. But if Rondo keeps playing like this, it just brings another element to this Lakers team as a really, really good ball handler. Can take the ball out of LeBron's hands a little more often, which is always welcome because LeBron can't play as many minutes as you'd usually want him to if he has to handle the ball all the time. So Rondo can definitely be a game changer for this team, and it's good to see him healthy and playing well. PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon were incredible as well for the Rockets. Tucker was plus 18 with 18 points and 11 rebounds on 7 for 10 shooting, 4 for 7 from 3. Gordon had 24 points on 8 for 16 shooting, 6 for 12 from 3. Those two getting that kind of production makes this Rockets team really, really good. And that's what makes them championship level. Against the Clippers, if they are able to beat this Lakers team, and I kind of feel like they will. Like, I feel like yesterday was not a good game for the Rockets. They didn't play well at all, and they still had a chance to win for a large portion of the fourth quarter. So, at this point, this is going to be a 7-game series with anybody's shot based off what I've seen so far. And if PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon are playing like this, they elevate this team. And obviously, they need more from their bench. Jeff Green didn't play well, and he had a bit of an unfortunate groin punch that looked like it really, really hurt. And Austin Rivers didn't play well. He didn't hit shots. Ben McLemore didn't have a particularly great game. Daniel House had some really good minutes for this team, but they need more out of that bench for sure because Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, alongside Harden. Harden's going to be great. You know that at this point. Outside of Game 7s, sorry to say it, James, but this guy is incredible. He's a top 6 basketball player on the planet. He's just really, really good, and if Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker are playing like this, it elevates them to a new level. They just need Westbrook and the bench to play better, and they can win this series for sure. Anthony Davis, I don't know. It's so frustrating to me because watching the game, I was like, dang, Anthony Davis isn't playing well. Like, how is he not getting dunks every single possession? He's so much bigger and stronger than... Well, not stronger because PJ Tucker's a tank. But he finished with 34 points and 10 rebounds on 15 for 24 shooting. Like, it's just watching the game, it feels like, come on, AD, take over now. This team should be a team you dominate. Like, take over. But he finishes with this great stat line, so I'm so conflicted. Like, how can you ask him to do more when he's having this kind of game? But at the same time, it's like, watching, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like he's doing what they need him to do to win. So maybe they do need to get him more touches. I don't know, but I'm very conflicted on what I think about the way Anthony Davis is playing right now. Because he's taking so many of these mid-range fadeaways, mid-range face-ups, and they're going in, but he's so much bigger than these guys. Why isn't he getting layups and dunks more often? I don't know. He's playing well. It's just, yeah. I mean, he only took 6 free throws, and it feels like he should be getting to the line way more than that against this team. So, definitely an interesting wrinkle what Anthony Davis is going to do. Similar to what I was talking about with Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, Kyle Kuzma and Markieff Morris had huge games for the Lakers. They stepped up, hit shots. Morris had that huge stretch in the first half where I think he went on a 9-0 run on the whole game, knocking down 3 threes in a row. That was huge. Got their lead up to 16 at the end of the first quarter. So if those two are playing really well, they make the Lakers so much better just because they're reliable offensive options outside of LeBron and AD. Guys who can put the ball in the bucket because Rondo's not that kind of guy. Obviously, he's a great point guard. He's a great passer, but he's not going to do too much scoring for you. And it'll definitely be interesting. I think Frank Vogel is not going to start JaVale McGee. Dwight Howard got completely taken out of the rotation. I think McGee will have the same thing happen in Game 3. These guys are just kind of unplayable against the Rockets. The Lakers are going to go small now, and I think they'll probably start Morris and keep on bringing Kuzma off the bench. But, yeah, I definitely do not think that JaVale will be starting in Game 3. So, yeah, 2 very fun games. Bucks Heat. Hopefully this series keeps going because I love the Bucks and I'd love to see them continue to do well. And Rockets Lakers, this series is going to be really tight and it's a lot of fun to watch. Superstar versus superstar, LeBron versus Harden, AD versus Westbrook. We got great games out of 3 of the 4 superstars yesterday, and Harden, Davis, and James. They just need Westbrook to play better, and this is a battle of 2 juggernauts, 2 great teams, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening. I would be surprised if this game doesn't go to 7 games, or this series doesn't go to 7 games. And I'm really impressed with the Rockets because I didn't have a whole lot of faith in them going into this series. I thought that the Lakers were going to win in 6, and it was going to be a pretty convincing win, but the Rockets look good so far. They've played pretty well in 2 games, and yesterday they had so many turnovers, and that's something that the small ball is supposed to give them an advantage in, the turnover battle, and they had a lot of turnovers, and they didn't force that many Laker turnovers, and they were still in the game. So at this point, if I had to make a prediction, I think I would say Rockets in 7. I'm convinced that the Rockets are going to be able to pull this off. Of course, maybe they'll make me regret that by beating themselves, but this is going to be a fun series, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Today we've got Celtics-Raptors, which has been great the last couple games, and then we've got Nuggets-Clippers, and maybe the Nuggets are going to give the Clippers a run. I didn't think they could, but maybe they will. They played well in Game 2. We'll see what happens there. Alright, everyone, thanks for watching. Drop a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on everything I said in this video. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all again very soon.